progress report real quick. The S10, I've got it off the trailer now, pulled over into a spot. One of the frame horns needs to be welded back on. It's been cut off. The other one's cut most of the way off. Control arms are on. It's still about an inch from laying out there. Just got some of the body panel stuff put together just to make it not look so bad here. There was a sub I had to rebuild or recone, or just I had to work on a sub earlier, so I done it right here. Use this as the table. The back, I've not done anything to it since the last video. Really, the front suspension is the only difference. This back wall, I have, I think in the last video I'd mentioned I have the panel in my backyard, so hopefully after the blazers together, this will be the next thing I start working on. Not really much to show on it. The blazer is inside the garage right now. I'm hoping to do the wiring harness on it tomorrow. Need a couple fuel lines ran too. I've got it jacked up on stands, so hopefully I can get into it to try and get some stuff done. This Yukon here got a mess in it right now. I dropped my keys. So that sub back there, the motor had shifted on it. The way these subs are made, you can, if you're real careful, you can unbolt the motors without damaging the coil or anything. And just so happened, I guess I'd caught it without really doing any damage to the coil. It had skint some of the varnish off the outer section of the side of the coil. The former's still in good shape. So I used some red spray varnish that I use for alternators whenever I'm rebuilding them. And I use that to just kind of skim over top of it to give it that coating back on. The coil's still ohmed out good. Wasn't any issues. I have downsized on the power. I'd cut out 3 batteries, dropped 1 amp for this amp's running at 2 ohm right now instead of having 2 of them at 1 ohm. It still does fine. I mean, you can tell there's a big power loss, but it does good. I've cut about 300 pounds of weight out of the vehicle. I've had a little bit of an issue with weight in the back of it. I just took the 3-inch blocks out of it last weekend. I had it raised 3 inches just to make it look, to sit about where it's at now. So that 300 pounds being behind on the main back really made a difference. The 300 pounds was enough that I've had blowouts on, I had some 24s on here, and I've had blowouts on them twice now. And the last time, it actually popped knots up on the other tire in the back. So it's just so much weight. There was, when I counted it up, not counting the 4 runs of 4-aught that were going through the vehicle or the weight of the amplifiers, I was sitting at 1,850 pounds over top of the axles in the back. So, you know, it's I think there's, if I remember right, this thing had 5 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, 2 sheets of 3/4 inch birch, 1 sheet of 3/4 inch MDF, couple little pieces like 4x4 in the lower section of the bottom ported chamber where the subs are mounted, just for some bracing. And then there's some 1/8 inch birch, which probably shouldn't really count for much anyway, because it's, you know, it's a fraction of anything. It's just used for the trim on the main side behind the seats, and a little bit on the roof section. You can't really tell. I think, yeah, that was 3/4 up top there. That and that piece of all thread I've used for a brace. It seems to help a little bit, the weight being reduced off this. But anyway, I'm hoping tomorrow I can get back to the Blazer over there. I'm not going into the garage where it's at, but I've got this pile of compressors right here. This one was actually on the S10, and the S10 had been flooded sitting in a field. This was locked completely up, so part of my day I went through this, got it working again. I've not tried to get it up to 200 psi, but it's, you know, it's functioning again. I took the compressor section completely apart and went through it. Had to replace one seal. The motor was locked up, so cleaned the bearings up. It probably gonna make a big old racket here, but the people out in town are too, so it shouldn't matter. So it's working. This one may actually go back on the S10, at least for temporary. That and this 444. These two, I think these are 380s. I'm not 100% on that, because I've got a 380 over here, and pretty much the same compressor. Which, if I remember right, the 350 and the 380 are both pretty much the same compressor. Maybe it's a 400. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've really messed with the compressors much, so I don't remember much on. No, those are 400s. I believe that's how that works. 440. Because this is a 444, and it's got the numbers here. And this one's a 350. And if you can see it upside down here, 350C. I know this one was a 480, and there's a 480 back there. So it looks like these are 400s. I don't even know what the ratings are for those, but I figure those will end up going on the Blazer in the back section. For feet, I'm gonna use these little mounts for Harley gas tanks. This is off an old shovel head. These were just a set that I had laying around, but they're vibration bushings is what they are. So instead of buying a bunch of these little feet that keep wearing out, I'm gonna go with something like this. They have another option that's studded off both sides. That may be what I order. You can get a 5-pack of them for like $10. So if I order 2 or 3 5-packs, that'll cover, you know, 3. I may be able to, if I order 4 packs, I think I can get 5 compressors worth. So anyway, that's my update. Hopefully I can post another one up tomorrow with some actual progress on the Blazer. It's been a little hectic for the last week here, so I haven't really had much option to work on a lot of stuff. Dad had brought this one over. Got a little issue with it, but it won't be staying long. Anyway, that's all I got at the moment.